Welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast. My name is Coach Scott. I'll be your host today. It is Friday, February 7th. Got a good week, a busy week, a great start to February. Hope you guys got a great start as well. I do have to apologize right off the bat. I want to apologize to Jacob Polzin last week, a member of Team Ordinary who did run a race last week that I forgot to congratulate him for. He did the Krispy Kreme Challenge. I guess when he wrote it down there, I just thought he was eating donuts. I didn't think he was actually running, but he did. No, he did a great job out there in Raleigh, North Carolina, getting that race done. He also did I'm just going to acknowledge his virtual race also. He did a virtual race, had something to do with unicorns and Scott. I'll put the picture of the medal. He sent me a picture of his medal. It was a cute medal, a little picture of a unicorn. But I think he ran 121 miles to earn that medal. So not in a row. But, you know, it was sort of like I think they did like a virtual race across Scotland, which must be 121 miles. And he got it done. He got the medal to prove it. So congratulations, Jacob, on that. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. He's been harassing me all week because I forgot him. But you know what? It's a perk of being part of Team Ordinary. If you're not a member of Team Ordinary and you want to get on that, go to teamordinary.com, register for the team. And anyone can do it. We're open perpetually. This isn't something where some people say, hey, can I still be on the team? It's like, yeah, we're open. We are open. The more the merrier. We encourage everybody. Look at this shirt. Shirt is awesome. The hat's awesome. This hat, the same hat I've been wearing since day one. It's holding up nicely. A lot of people winning the hats, loving the hats, and wearing them all the time. I see them all the time. You guys post them. It's great. We do have a couple Team Ordinary people running this weekend. We have one Valentine's Day theme a little bit early, but, you know, I can see it. February 8th, we have Jen Bergstrom in Colorado Springs, Colorado, doing the Stories Ultra Run. It's a 12-hour run. I'm sure she's going to get a lot of miles in on that day. Stephanie Brown in Melbourne, Florida, doing the Brevard Zoos Bear Bustle 3K. B-E-A-R. I had to spell it out because I don't want you thinking it's B-A-R-E. That would be a different kind of race, I guess. But 3K out there. Obviously, the zoo, the bear. It's a bear theme. B-E-A-R. Get it out of your head. February 9th, that's Keith Jones doing the Love on the Run 5K in Richmond Hill, New York. Good to see Keith on the schedule for this week, getting some races in. And again, if you're part of Team Ordinary, go to that team calendar, submit your races. I'll put them on the page, and I'll make sure to read them. At least I hope I read them. I try to read them all. Sometimes I get called out because I forget some, but try to read them all and get it in. Ordinary Marathon updates. We're trying to get some sponsors for the Ordinary Marathon. Again, the dates for the Ordinary Marathon, May 8th through May 17th, 10-day virtual race with a 5K based in East Longmeadow. That's an optional 5K. So the race itself is the virtual race. That 5K is optional. It's in East Longmeadow, Massachusetts, in Western Mass. We are trying to get sponsors now for the race. We're organizing and trying to pitch some new people, get some new people involved, and try to grow this thing for a really great cause, the Sam Fund. And if you're willing to sponsor, if you're looking to sponsor a great cause, one thing I really love about what we do is, you sponsor something. Typically, you sponsor something, you get your name in like a little T-shirt or something, or maybe you get a kind of just some kind of cursory mention. You don't really get a lot of accolades or anything, but we really try to go the extra mile for our sponsors, let them be known on the podcast. We post about them on our social media, all that good stuff. Just something I think that goes above and beyond a lot of other sponsorship opportunities, and we're not really that expensive as well. So if you're looking to sponsor us, reach out. We love to hear from you. And again, it's a great cause, the Sam Fund, something that's near and dear to a lot of us. So, and also to register for the race. How could I forget that? Go to ordinarymarathon.com, register for the race, use coupon code ORDINARY or Team Ordinary, one word, and get $5 off the race registration fee. Look, it's $30. With the $5 off, it goes to $25. 10-day event. We do that compilation video with the pictures that we actually have. It's on the website. There are links to it on the website you can find. It's really cool. You think about it. For $25, you support a great cause. You get to participate in a great event. Potentially could win free stuff that we give away every single day. And potentially get into the video making you a star. And who doesn't want to be a YouTube star these days, Everyone wants to be a YouTube sensation overnight. Speaking of overnight YouTube sensations, this guy right here, this guy, was live streaming his Zwift ride last night. It was our team Zwift ride. We had 5 people show up. We'll get into that in a second. And I was all excited about the live stream. Now, again, my problem is the computer that I have in there that I run Zwift off of typically is very underpowered. It won't stream live. It doesn't have enough power to stream live. Only this one that sits behind me does. But this is like my office computer. So I sit here and I'm doing work on it and I need this computer for here. So I have to kind of shuttle it back and forth in order to set it up for Zwift to live stream. And yesterday when I did it so quickly and wasn't really paying attention that I forgot to plug in the microphone. Yeah, dummy. What a dumbass. That's me. Yeah, so, and another thing is, I start the live stream, and look, I'm looking at the Zwift, I'm talking to the camera is on, it looks like things are running. I can't monitor 7 different things at the same time. I can barely, ride, and talk at the same time. And so what happens is I go for 18 minutes before anyone tells me that, hey, no one can hear a word that I'm saying. Now, we had like 25 people watching the live stream too, so they were just watching. And they were watching me talk with no words come out. And I was saying such great things about some amazing people. I was telling really funny jokes too, like really funny. You guys would have died. But no one heard them. So it was just me talking to nothing, thinking that I was talking to the world on my YouTube channel. So I tried to plug the mic in afterwards and it just wouldn't work. It's like one of those things where you got to kind of stop it and start it for it to grab the microphone, for it to take. It just didn't do it. So I had to scrap the live stream last night. I do apologize for everyone who was riding with me or for everyone who's listening. It's one of those things. I go on Twitter. I'm like, hey, I'm going to be live streaming my ride. I go on Facebook. I'm going to be live streaming. I tell everyone I'm going to be I even told my sister who's in labor, literally right now. She's in labor. She's still in labor this morning. And, hey, if you need to pass time, I'm going to be live streaming like a 1-hour bike ride so you can just watch. And then it took 18 minutes before someone finally told me, thank you, Travis. Someone finally told me that nobody could hear a word I was saying. So, look, it's just going to build up the suspense for next week, right? Just going to build it up. I'll have to make sure I do a little bit of a test run beforehand to make sure everything works, to make sure the sound works. What a dummy. What a dummy. So, yeah, look, I'm a one-man show here most of the time. I mean, I get a lot of help from Steph on some other things, but when it comes to production, it's really just me. So, hey, I got to give myself a free pass when I screw up, and I screw up often. It's what happens. But let me tell you what's not screwing up is our Thursday night ride. We had 5 people show up, including me. Let me see. I didn't write it down, so I go off the top of my head. It was Travis Heidebrink. Jacob Polzen showed up, Randy Latza, and Brenda Rother. Brenda was a newbie. First time joining us on the Thursday ride. She did a great job. I got to tell you, when I think of Zwift and the Zwift platform and all that good stuff, it's intimidating. Zwift is intimidating. And we've talked about this a little bit in the past, but, I did a ride early this week with Aaron Shepard. We did the Stage 7 ride for Tour de Zwift. It was the final ride of the Tour de Zwift, and it was a hard ride. And I finished something like, I don't know, probably the bottom 80th percentile, and it's supposed to be a ride, not a race. But I was racing pretty hard. It's good exercise for sure. It was a good workout. And, my gut tells me there's 2 factors here that go into this. There's 2 factors that lead into the fact that I train really hard, I work really hard, and for some reason, I just don't ever show up in the top. It feels like I'm always on the bottom of the list when it comes to finishers and stuff like that. And the 2 things, this is the 2 factors I blame. Number 1 is weight cheating. I think people weigh 220 pounds and they write their weight in as 160 just so they can ride with the leaders and have fun. And you know what? I got to be honest. I'm really not that upset about that. It upsets me a little bit, I guess, but I'm not too upset. It doesn't it's not like anyone's racing for money or anything like that. And I kind of look, it's fun to ride with the front and it's fun to, so look, I don't get too, other than races, if you're racing and you're racing other people, that's a little cheap. But if you're just doing a ride and you kind of want to ride in the front, and the only way you can do it is by I'm not going to like kill you over it. I do feel like weight cheating is one of the things that bother me. And the other thing is, I think when we look at Zwift, it's different. Zwift is a different animal than a lot of other cycling things. Like, I think if you're a normal person that's not a cyclist, and you think about something for your home gym, you're thinking maybe I'll get an exercise bike, which is in Zwift. You're thinking maybe if you have some cash, maybe you're getting a Peloton, which is in Zwift. But what you don't ever think of, and I think part of this is Zwift's fault for just not having the right marketing strategy to attack this group of people who I think are ripe for this type of exercise. What you're not thinking of is grabbing your bike out of the, you probably don't even have a racing bike or anything, but buying a bike or taking a bike that you have, throwing it on a trainer, linking it up to the internet and doing some rides with other people. And in such case, what happens is the people that actually join Zwift are people who are cyclists. They race, they ride, they love cycling, they have an expensive bike, they throw it on an expensive trainer, and then they pay Zwift $15 or $20 a month for the package. Now, Peloton is way more expensive than that. I mean, you can buy a good bike and a trainer for less than whatever. What's a Peloton, like $2,700, something like that? You can buy a good bike and a trainer for less than that. A good trainer too. Like, I'm not even joking. But you can get a carbon frame and you can get a trainer for less than that, especially if you're looking like secondhand stuff. Easy. And I think that Zwift is doing itself a disservice by not really marketing to that sort of niche there, right? And I think what it does is it makes it so that the environment within Zwift, is they're cyclists, man. They are hardcore cyclists. A lot of them, a lot of the people there, and that's why when I say, and look, again, I am acknowledging that I come in the bottom 80% in most of these rides and races. I am also acknowledging that I don't weight cheat. But I'm good with it. I'm good. Look, my training is what it is. I look at it. I race myself. I ride against myself. I try to get myself better, right? I try to work on my FTP higher, my endurance longer, so I can do longer races, longer rides. But yeah, I feel like I'm just competing against the best of the best most of the time. They're just better than me. And that's because the world isn't, here's the world, here's the number of cyclists in the world, and, add a little bit to it, and that's Zwift, right? That's my thinking. I don't know. So I think going back to the ride, I think it can be very intimidating to join something like a meetup ride where you have no idea, especially if you're a newbie, you have no idea how fast they're going to go, how much power they push out. If you don't know the platform, you might not know what kind of course you're going up against, if it's going to be hilly or flat or whatever. Or you don't know the different factors. It's intimidating. But Brenda, in other words, she just joined the group this week, last night, for her first ride. I thought she did great. She hung in there for quite some time. And then, afterwards, she seemed really psyched about doing next week. And she finished the whole ride. Great job. And the only reason I'm not pointing her out because she's female or because she's new, I'm pointing her out because there are other people out there who have said to me, look, I really want to do the ride. I just don't know if I can hang. I don't know. It doesn't matter if you can hang. We don't set ourselves up that way. We, the thing is, most of it, we'll wait for you. If you want us to wait, we'll wait. If you don't want us to wait, we won't wait. It's simple. It's a good conversation. And there's a lot of cracking jokes back and forth. I wish I'd be able to show you had I not screwed up the sound. But it's a good ride. It's a great ride. And look, I think we're probably the friendliest group of people out there. So if you're listening to this and you've been thinking about joining the Thursday night ride, hey, if you're too intimidated for it, I get it. Come ride with me. Just let me know. I'll meet you out for a ride and we'll go for a ride and see. And we'll see. And I'll let you know. I'll give you the honest feedback whether or not you can hang. I think you could. Most people could. If I can hang, you can hang. That's what I'm saying. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And if you want to join the Thursday night ride, reach out to me. Let me know, and I'll put you on the list. And again, next Thursday, we're going to be trying the live stream again. I'll make sure to plug in the microphone, and hopefully we'll get a good ride going. Hopefully we'll get some good stuff going for you guys on our YouTube channel. Ordinary Marathoner is a podcast about running. And I haven't been doing much of it lately. I probably haven't run in the last week and a half. And I'm so kind of engrossed in the cycling that I haven't been doing running. And I got to be honest, it's starting to bother me a little bit. I'm down 12 pounds. So I'm feeling good about weight. I'm feeling good about how the new year has started. I have cycled every single day since January 2nd still. At some point, yeah, people take rest days. I've had 24 hours where I haven't cycled, which I consider a rest day, even though there's no sleep cycle in there. So it's not really a rest day, but you get it. You kind of need those 2 sleep cycles for it to be an official rest day. So if I cycle at 6 a.m. one morning and then 8 p.m. the next day, even though it's like, a big hour, it's almost 2 day. It's not really a day off. It doesn't really count. But I do a lot of rides where, what do you call it? Where I just take it easy and I just spin the wheels and I just try to, get something done, get something in, keep the legs fresh and not injured. And I say that from a coaching perspective because my clients, I don't ever prescribe doing something every single day. I would always put a rest or recovery day in there, and I don't do it for myself, which is not really appropriate. Speaking of coaching, business is picking up. I'm loving it. I've had a bunch of consultations the last few weeks, and some people hire me, some people don't. And that's the thing is like, look, when it comes to coaching, I keep saying this to people because I feel like I've had all these consultations now. So it's kind of thing. I am not. So coaching, I think in general is a very fiercely competitive nature. And there are a lot of sharks out there. Meaning if you go on Facebook and you type, hey, I'm thinking about hiring a coach. Anyone ever have any experience or whatever on that? You're going to get coaches that are going to go, hey, I'm a coach, hire me. And that's all fine and good, right? I mean, if you don't make someone aware that you're a coach, how are they going to hire you, right? But the second part of that is, you got to find the right coach. And you got to find the right coach for you. Some people right off the bat, when I tell them, look, some people want a coach that's right there, that's in your neighborhood, that can go and ride with you or run with you and analyze your swim form and analyze your running form and do all that stuff. You might need a coach that's near you geographically. Other people are like, look, I know how to run. I know how to, or I'm going to take video of myself and we can analyze it, look at it. I just need to have the framework. Some people say, all right, you know what? The problem is I have all these different how to train for a half marathon programs in front of me. But the problem is I have such a busy schedule. I need something that's customizable. I need something for me. I can't just say, all right, on day 1, I'm going to do this because day 2, I might not be there. I used to have that issue a while back. I worked a job where, hey, it could have been 4:00 in the afternoon. And all of a sudden someone like hits me up and says, hey, we got to go meet a client for dinner. Or for a meeting, or for whatever. And all of a sudden now, that 6:00 to 8:00 when I was supposed to do a 2-hour workout, now I'm not going to be home. Not only that, but I'm going to be out with clients, and we may be drinking wine, we may be doing whatever. And there's no way when I come home I'm going to be doing something. It throws everything off. And you might need a coach to be reflective of that, right? To be able to kind of handle that situation, and not necessarily be like, all right, you skip this, so forget about it and go to the next day workout. Well, what if you had a big workout scheduled today and then tomorrow you have a recovery workout and you skip today and you're just recovering from nothing because you did nothing? You know what I mean? So, and then there's also cut and paste coaches. That's what I call them. I don't disrespect them. They just have a different approach than me. So, some of my athletes, they want to hear from me daily. They want to hear from me. They're paying me, the coach. So I literally customize every single workout. It's for you. This is, I tell you why we're doing it. I tell you what we're doing. I tell you how to do it. And you got to go after it and do it. The cut and paste coach will be like, all right, here's a list of a library of a gazillion different workouts. Let me copy this one, paste it into your schedule. You're off and go do that. I don't like that. And I have clients that call me every day or text me every single day. And I love that. Let's chat. Ask me questions. Let's work on prescribing the schedule for you. And then I have clients that don't want to talk to me. They want the workouts. Hey, here's your week. And I just sit there and I watch. And what happens is as they do the workouts, it goes from red to green. And I watch every day. I click in, and then the previous day is green. Previous day, green. and maybe they write something, a note or something. Maybe they have a question, maybe they want to talk about something. Then we talk. So what I'm saying is that everyone's different. Everyone has different needs when it comes to a coach, different plans. I am not, by all means, I am not the perfect coach for everybody, and I think being perfectly aware of that is kind of what every coach should do, really. You got to be aware of your strengths and your weaknesses. I'm still learning a little bit, some of my strengths and weaknesses. But man, it's so fun to have these conversations with you guys, to have these consultations and talk about what you need and talk about people who have goals, things that they want to achieve, things that they are going to set time aside for, to work on. And then you get the benefit as a coach of sort of guiding them and being alongside and showing them kind of right and wrong, on how, and the reasons why that, you feel the way you do, and you prescribe the things you do, the workouts you prescribe for them to get better. And then to see when they improve is like, it's like, that's the best. That's the best. I had a runner take 30 seconds off his 1 mile time in 2 months. 2 months of work, and he went from running a mile in 10:18 to 9:46 in 2 months. And I'm like, wow. I mean, and the funny thing was, he was like, oh, I don't feel like I'm improving. And I said, oh, let's go check. And we did the next day, and boy, did he improve. And it's I don't know. I can't tell you the excitement as a coach that you feel when the things that you prescribe, or the things, the guidance that you give, when it actually works, it's wonderful. It's amazing. And I'm not really necessarily saying it as a commercial. We definitely have room to take more clients. So if you're out there and you want to have a chat, I do this. I'll have consultations all the time, and I do it for free. A lot of coaches won't do it for free. A lot of coaches will say, all right, you got to pay me for the consultation. Sometimes they'll put that money. So what you do, so say they charge you $150 a month, and they charge you $50 for a consultation. So you come in, you consult, you give them $50, but sometimes that $50 will go to your first month of coaching, which is, it's not so bad, but it's kind of like either hire me or $50, right? So and here I am saying that I'm not necessarily the perfect coach for everybody, but if I'm the perfect coach for you, then fine. If not, why am I really requiring you to give me $50? So anyway, if you want a consultation, definitely reach out to me. I just wanted to talk about that because I've been enjoying it so much lately. I wish I would actually coach myself sometimes, because I have a 10K in a month, a little over a month, and I have a half marathon in May, and then I have an Ironman. And I'm actually, the funny part is that the one I'm least concerned about is the Ironman. It's an Ironman 70.3. It's the one I'm least concerned about because I feel like my weakness there is the bike, and that's the one that I'm really working on hard. That's the discipline I'm really working hard. If I can get off the bike in good time, I'll be fine. That's all, That's all I know. That's why I've been really just sort of focused on it. But again, I'm doing a half marathon in May, and that's no joke either. So I do have to start running again, with conviction, with a plan, and I'm going to get that done too, guys. I promise. So listen, a busy week. I hope you guys are out there. I hope you're still working hard. I hope you're still, eating right, fueling yourself right, getting your workouts done, making your days count. We'll talk to you guys next week. I got a lot of guests lined up. All of a sudden, I did like no guests for 2 weeks. Now I have, I think, 3 shows potentially all next week to record. I know I have one Monday. I have another one Thursday, and maybe even a third one at some point, but we'll figure it out. It's crazy. Anyway, that's it for today. And I hope you guys have a good day. And remember, every day is an ordinary day unless you make it extraordinary. So get after it, guys.